Send a redeemer, he's coming soon. Ahaya, my creator, you made me in my mother's womb. You promised in your word, send a redeemer, he's coming soon. Yachad, Lamb of God, you bled and died for all of my sin, and rose again to bring death's end. You promised power and forgiveness if I have faith and repent. Lamb of God, you bled and died for all of my sin, and rose again to bring death's end. You promised power and forgiveness if I have faith and repent.
Shalawam, shalawam, can you hear me better? Alright, well, shalawam and much siloam, family, much peace, much life, much love, and Hawa. So with that said, we're just gonna get right started into today's lesson. And it's gonna be giving more proof that the Aztecs, the Incas, the Mayas are part of the 10 tribes, are a part of Israel, that these are my forefathers, that these are Israelites, that this is going to be more facts that will break the non-believers' backs. And so, to bring up this proof, we're going to be going into something called the Agada, otherwise known as the Legends of the Jews. And we're going to be going over this brief section here called the Soul of Man, and we're going to be precepting it out of the Florentine Codex. And we're going to be seeing how our forefathers had a knowledge of the soul of man and how it goes through its ways. And so I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. Well, this is what we're going to be reading out of today: Legends of the Jews and the Creation of Man. Now this is going to be out of chapter 2. Legends of the Jews, but this is going to be, again, like I said, out of the Soul of Man. Now we're not going to read the entire chapter. We're just going to get the meat out of this. We're just going to get the babies out of it with bathwater. And now we're going to be precepting it as you saw in the intro. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, according to Isaiah 28, verses 9 to 13. The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104, as well as verses 126 to 128, as well as 2nd Nephi 28, verses 30 and 31, as well as Doctrines and Covenants, section 98, and verses 6 through 12. All these are saying precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Now if you're a little bit more confused as to what I mean, go pick up a study Bible and look at the notes. You'll see it has a bunch of other references to other scriptures in there. Right, and I just gave you an example of what precepting looks like. I referenced Isaiah, then I made a reference to the book of Psalms, then I made a reference to 2nd Nephi, then the Doctrines and Covenants, and so on and so forth. That was precepting. So this is what we're going to be doing in this lesson today. So we're going to be going in on the soul of man. So Legends of the Jews, the Soul of Man, and we're going to be reading it down pretty much just until we're done, and then diddly darn it, I need to get that blocker on this guy. But either way, we're just going to continue reading. I'm not going to let this kill the mood, alright? You see any following this lesson, know that's me, not AHAYA YACHAD or the Ruach Kadash. I'd like to apologize for any ill communication on my part. If you're curious in these matters, by all means, look it up for yourself. Right, so now I'm actually going to start reading. I'm going to let the words, the writing speak for themselves. I'm going to let the Agada speak for itself. I'm going to let the ancestors speak for themselves here. See what it says. The care which the Creator exercised in fashioning every detail of the body of man is as naught in comparison with the solicitude for the human soul. The soul of man was created on the first day, for it is the spirit of Hawa moving upon the face of the waters. Thus, instead of being the last, man is really the first work of creation. The spirit, or to call it by its usual name, the soul of man, possesses 5 different powers. By means of one of them, she escapes from the body every night, rises up to heaven, and fetches new life thence for man. With the soul of Adam, the souls of all generations of men were created. They are stored up in a promontory in the 7th of the heavens, whence they are drawn as they are needed for human body after human body. The soul and body of man are united in this way. When a woman has conceived, the angel of the night, Lila, carries the sperm before the Creator, and the Creator decrees what manner of human being shall become of it, whether it shall be male or female, strong or weak, rich or poor, beautiful or ugly, long or short, fat or thin, and what all its other qualities shall be. Piety and wickedness alone are left to the determination of man himself. Then the Creator makes a sign to the angel appointed over the soul, saying, "Bring me the soul so-and-so, which is hidden in paradise, whose name is so-and-so, and whose form is so-and-so." The angel brings the designated soul, and she bows down when she appears in the presence of the Creator, and prostrates herself before him. At that moment, the Creator issues a command, "Enter this sperm." The soul opens her mouth and pleads, "O Creator of the world, I am well pleased with the world which I have been living in." Sorry, I'm gonna read that again. So this is where we're at right here, right? We're right here, right here. So it says, "O Lord of the world, I am well pleased with the world in which I have been living since the day on which you did call me into being. Why do you now desire to have me enter this impure sperm, I who am holy and pure, and the part of your glory?" The Creator consoles her. "The world which I shall cause you to enter is better than the world in which you have lived hitherto. And when I created thee, it was only for this purpose." The soul is then forced to enter the sperm against her will, and the angel carries her back to the womb of the mother. Two angels are detailed to watch that she shall not leave it, nor drop out of it, and a light is set above her, whereby the soul can see from one end of the world to the other. In the morning, an angel carries her to paradise, and shows her the righteous who sit there in their glory, with crowns upon their head. The angel then says to the soul, "Dost thou know who these are?" She replies in the negative. And the angel goes on, "These whom thou beholdest here were formed like unto you in the womb of their mother. When they came into the world, they observed the Creator's Torah and his commandments. Therefore, they became the partakers of this bliss which you seest them enjoy. Know also, thou wilt one day depart from the world below, and if thou wilt observe God's Torah, if thou wilt observe Ahaya's Torah, then wilt thou be found worthy of sitting with these pious ones. But if not, you will be doomed to the other place." You will be doomed to the other place. In the evening, let me see here, I got lost a little bit. Okay, so it says, in the evening, the angel takes the soul to hell, and there points out the sinners whom the angels of destruction are smiting with fiery scourges. The sinners, all the while crying out, "Woe, woe!" But there is no mercy shown unto them. The angel then questions the soul as before, "Do you know who these are?" And as before, the reply is negative. The angel continues, "These who are consumed with fire were created like unto thee. When they were put into the world, they did not observe Ahaya's Torah and his commandments. Therefore have they come to this disgrace, which thou seest them suffer. No, thy destiny is also to depart from the world. Be just therefore, and not wicked, that thou mayest gain the future world." Between morning and evening, the angel carries the soul around and shows her where she will live and where she will die, and the place where she will be buried, and the place where she will be buried. And he takes her through the whole world and points out the just and sinners and all things. In the evening, he replaces her in the womb of the mother, and there she remains for 9 months. When the time arrives for her to emerge from the womb into the world, the same angel addresses the soul. "The time has come for you to go abroad into the open world." The soul demurs. "Why do you want to make me go forth into the open world?" The angel replies, "Know that as you were formed against your will, so now will you be born against your will, and against your will you will die, and against your will you will give an account of yourself before the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He. Blessed be He." But the soul is reluctant to leave her place. Then the angel flips the babe on the nose and extinguishes the light at his head, and brings him forth into the world against his will. Immediately the child forgets all his soul has seen and learnt, and he comes into the world crying, where he loses a place of shelter and security and rest. So I want to make an emphasis here, though, of what it says here. Right, so this is why the babe's crying, right? Because if we start here, in this paragraph where the soul and the body of man are united, actually, you know what, never mind, let's go back to that last paragraph there, right? Right, so I'm going to read that last part again where it's highlighted, right? So it says, "When the time arrives for her to emerge from the womb into the open world, the same angel addresses the soul. The time has come for thee to go abroad into the open world." The soul demurs. "Why do you want to make me go forth into the open world?" The angel replies. Now here is the most significant part, and here is the meat that we need to be getting out of this, right? Right? So bam, let's get that. Let's see what it says. So it says, the angel replies, "No, as you were formed against your will, so now you will be born against your will, and against your will you will die, and against your will you will give an account of yourself before the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He." But the soul is reluctant to leave her place, right? So here's the next part of the meat, and I want you to keep this next part on your mind. Just keep this next part on your mind continually, right? So here's what it says. "But the soul is reluctant to leave her place. Then the angel flips the babe on the nose, extinguishes the light at his head, and brings him forth into the world against his will. And immediately the child forgets all his soul has seen and learned, and he comes into the world crying, for he loses a place of shelter and security and rest." Now, why is the baby crying? How is he? So he had a light on his head, but as soon as he lost the light, he loses a place of shelter and security and rest. Shelter and security and rest. Well, if we go back into some earlier lessons, right? If we go into the book of Proverbs, and we go back to chapter 9, right? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 9 out of the KJV. Right, so let's see. So the baby, he lost a place of shelter when he lost his light, right? So let's see here, Proverbs chapter 9. "Wisdom hath builded her house. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars." Oh, so he lost his shelter because he lost the Holy Spirit wisdom in that same manner. He didn't have the same amount of wisdom, so he hath lost his house. He hath lost his house. He has lost his shelter. And then what else does it say? He had lost a place of security and rest. Security and rest. Right? Your law is my rest. Right? Let's see. Is my delight. Is my delight. Psalms 119. Oh, I love, let's go to Psalms 119. Let's go to Psalms 119. Let's go to that beautiful chapter. This will just give us all the drop concerning this part and why is a little baby crying? Right, why does a baby cry when it comes out? Like, we know the physical aspect of, it needs to get air. Right, it needs to get air in the lungs because this is the first time it's breathing as it's coming into the world, but why is it crying? Otherwise, we're just being told it lost its light, right? So, that was 92, verse 92. Let's see if we can't get it. So it says here, so verse 92, Psalms 119, unless your law has been my delights, I should have perished in mine affliction. I'll never forget your precepts, for with them you have quickened me. I am yours, save me, for I have sought your precepts. Oh, how I love your law, is my meditation all the day. Through your commandments have made me wiser than my enemies, for they are ever with me. Right? So the baby has lost a sense of security. Why? Why isn't the baby as secure? He's not wiser than his enemies before. He is now lesser. He is forgotten. He doesn't have the upper hand anymore. He's forgot it. He has forgot it. And look at this. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the ancients, because I keep thy precepts. I have refrained my feet from the evil way, that I might keep thy word. Right? Now he's susceptible to the evil way because he doesn't have that light. He doesn't have the light on his forehead. Right? So the angel extinguishes the light at his head. Right? Through thy precepts I hate every false way, therefore, through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. Now watch this, verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Here, let's get that again. Psalms 119, verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. So the baby learned the whole Torah before it was born, but why is the baby crying? Now let's get it again. But the soul is reluctant to leave her place. Then the angel flips the baby on the nose, extinguishes the light at his head, and brings him forth into the world against his will. This angel makes the baby forget the whole Torah, flips the baby on the head, and removes his understanding and remembrance of the Torah. So that way it can be written on the child's heart as it grows older. I have sworn, and I will perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgments. Oh, my soul is continually in my hand, yet I do not forget thy law. I do not forget thy law. I do not forget thy law. Well, let's go back up to verse 105 again. Let's get a second witness, right? Because let's see here. Because the Most High's word, right, is supposed to be a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path, right? So is it just the word of the Most High? But what is the word of the Most High? What is the word of the Most High? What's the word of the Most High? Huh? What is the word of the Most High? See, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. Whoa, hold on a second. You're telling me the Most High is giving you guidances to live your life? Giving you commandments? If you do what he says, your life is going to be better off, but if you don't, it's going to be worse off? Huh. No wonder why the baby's crying. He lost a whole bunch of wisdom. He had it in, he was in with the Creator, but all of a sudden he was separated against his will. He's like, man, I was close to the Creator. What do you mean you're going to have to take me away from this? Don't want to let this go. So the baby is crying. This is the knowledge our forefathers, our ancestors had, right? It's supposed to be Legends of the Jews, right? It's supposed to be Agada. So this is a knowledge our forefathers, our ancestors had, right? So you'd figure if the Aztecs, the Mayas, the Toltecs, if these ancient Americans are supposed to be the 10 tribes of the house of Israel, they would have to have some kind of knowledge that reflects this, right? Some type of knowledge that can not only precept with it, but give another precept unto this knowledge, right? You'd figure it, right? Well, come with me now into the Florentine Codex in book 6. It's gonna be out of the 6th book of the Florentine Codex. Now let's see here what our ancestors, Aztecs, the Incas, the Mayas had to say concerning the baby when it was born, right? So this is going to be the 30th chapter out of the 6th book of the Florentine Codex. Here it is told how the midwife extorted the baby who had been born. Hold on a second. What is the midwife doing? She's extorting the baby who had been born, and what she said to it. All the loving words, and here is told what was the lot of each one when it was born. As they said in the beginning, such was the disposition of the gods. And the midwife inquired what its lot was when the baby was born. So you're telling me the midwife knew something about the baby's purpose in this life? You telling me the midwife had some kind of knowledge about that? And she has to inquire about what the baby's purpose in this life is? Right? And she's exhorting the baby. Let's see what exhort means. Let's get that real quick. Let's get exhort. Let's get that real quick. Let's get Webster's. Let's get online etymology. Okay, there we go. Online etymology. Now let's get Let's see what this means. Exhort, right? Let's see. To exhort, to encourage, right? To encourage, to stimulate, thoroughly, to encourage or to urge, to like or want, right? So she's encouraging the baby, right? So she's trying to bring comfort to the little child, right? So how can you give comfort to a little kid who legit just lost everything, who was so close to the Creator, but now has been brought into a station of separation, right? So, but the midwife, she's comforting the baby somehow, and she's talking to it, right? All loving words, of course, but let's see what she says, right? Let's see what she says. All right, it's gonna be on the same page. It's just at the bottom of the page. We're just skipping right to the meat, right? So here's what it says. Then the midwife spoke to it, talking to the baby, right? If it was a male, she said to it, you have arrived on earth, my youngest one, my beloved boy, my beloved youth. Hold on for a second. She's telling this baby he's on earth, right? You figure, the baby's here. She already know he's on earth. No, she's telling the baby where it's at because she's speaking to the soul. She's not talking to the flesh. She's talking to the soul. She's exhorting the baby by giving it a little bit more knowledge of what it lost. You have arrived on earth, my youngest one, my beloved boy, my beloved youth. If it was female, she said to it, my beloved maiden, my youngest one, noble woman, you have suffered exhaustion, you have become fatigued. Your beloved Father, the Master, the Lord of the near, of the nigh, the Creator of men, hath sent thee. You have come to reach the earth, where your relatives, your kinsmen suffer exhaustion, where they suffer fatigue. It becometh hot, it becometh cold, the wind bloweth. It is a place of thirst, a place of hunger, a place of no gladness, a place of no joy, a place of exhaustion, of fatigue, of torment. My youngest one, right? So she's giving him a little bit more knowledge of what's going on here, right? She's giving the baby some drop of what's going on the earth, right? So there's a precept there, right? It's a place of thirst, of hunger, no gladness, right? It's hot, it's cold, and the wind blows here on earth, right? So let's see, that was in Genesis, right? Right, because she's pretty much pulling from Genesis there, right? So let's see what happens in Genesis 3:16 through 21. Let's see here. Right, so let's get it at Genesis 3. Let's scroll down and read it, verses 16 through 21, right? Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and conception. In sorrow you shall bring forth children, and your desire shall be to your husband, and he shall rule over you. And unto Adam he said, because you have hearkened unto the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I command you, saying, you shall not eat of it, cursed is the ground for your sake, and sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to you, You shall eat of the herb of the field, and the sweat of your face shall you eat bread, till you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and unto dust you shall return. Right? So, she's already given the baby some drop from the Torah. Already some drop from the Torah. It's a place of thirst, a place of hunger, a place of no gladness, a place of no joy, a place of exhaustion, fatigue, and torment. Our first father sinned. So we're going through all this stuff. We don't just get to walk all around like we used to. Alright, so let's continue on. My youngest one, perhaps you will live for a little while. Are you our reward? Are you our merit? Perhaps you will know your grandfathers, your grandmothers, your kinsmen, your lineage. Perhaps you might come to remember everything. And how will you be clad? How will you be arrayed? And what way have your mother, your father, ometekuti, ometeoro. I'm gonna read that again. And what way have your mother, your father, ometeoro, arrayed thee? And what manner have they endowed thee? And what manner comest thou? To what purpose come you clad? Perhaps some little thing is our desert. Perhaps some little thing is our merit. Perhaps some little thing will be yours. Perhaps our Lord, the Lord of the near and the nigh, will offer thee something, will favor thee with some role. Or perhaps you were born without desert, without merit. Perhaps you have been born as a little smutty ear of maize. Perhaps filth, corruption are your desert, your merit. Perhaps you will steal. Wherewith were you adorned? What was bound to you before the dawn? Oh, are you talking about a bright and morning star here? Are they referencing the bright and morning star? Are they referencing the book of Job down here? But aren't they also talking about election then? Right? So they're talking about what's your purpose, right? But let's get that in the book of Romans. Let's get that in the book of Romans. Because remember, Paul, he's supposed to be, from the tribe of Benjamin. Right? So he has a knowledge of the election. Right? So let's see what he writes. And see what Paul writes. So let's see what he writes, Romans 9:11. For the children of not yet being born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Creator according to the election might stand, not of works but him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Creator? Hawa forbid. For he saith unto Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Creator that showeth mercy. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore he had mercy. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and on whom he will harden it. On whom he will harden it. So she's talking about election, right? What is your election here? What have you been elected to come here for? Why are you here? What is your purpose here? Right? And then let's see here. What was bound to thee before the dawn? Was bound to thee before the dawn. Right? When the morning stars sang together. That's Job 38:7. Job 38:7. Let's get that. Get that. Job 38:7. Right? So this is Most High rebuking Job, right? Right? So then the Creator answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, who is this that darkened counsel by words without knowledge? Right? Darkened. Why is Job's knowledge darkened? Because he got flipped on the head when he was a baby and his light was extinguished. Alright? And then watch this. Let's skip it down again. Verse 7. Right? And then actually verse 3. Gird up now your loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer you me. Let's get down to verse 7. When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Verse 4. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare if you have understanding. When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of the Creator shouted for joy. Hold on for a second. And all the sons of the Creator, right? Bright morning star. What was bound to you before the dawn? Little one. Huh? Why are you here? Why did the Creator make you? What is your sole purpose? What is your life purpose? Right, we're gonna continue on here, right? You have suffered exhaustion. You have suffered fatigue, my youngest one, my precious noble one, precious necklace, precious feather, precious one. You have come to arrive, rest, find repose. Oh, hold on for a second. Okay, so we're just gonna stop right here, rest, find repose, right? Because let's see if that lines up with anything, right? Let's see if that goes back in Legends of the Jews. She's telling him to rest, right? What did the babe lose? He lost rest, so what's the midwife saying? Get rest, find repose, get security. Right, find repose. Let's see if I can't plug in my laptop real quick, excuse me. Now let's see if we can get the meaning of repose real quick, right? Find repose. No, I don't want to draw on that. Right, so repose. Repose. Let's see if we can't get that. Online. Etymology. Right, she's telling him to get repose. Let's see if it stays with the theme. Lie at rest. Or lie at rest. Let's see here. Cause to rest. To put to place. Put back. Set back. Replace. Restore. Put away. Lay out. To stretch out. To put place. Right? To rest. To pause. Let's see here, right? To put back. To set back. To replace. To restore. What? She told him to restore? Restore what? Restore your light. Restore the shelter. Restore your security and rest. Now that's some deep stuff right there. Rest. Find repose. Here are gathered your beloved grandfathers, your beloved grandmothers who await thee. This is the... You remember all those souls that came down here before you? Yeah, they're here waiting for you. They're here. They've been waiting for you. Here in their hands you'll come to arrive. Sigh not. Be not sad. What that you have come to arrive. What that you have come to arrive. That you have been brought. Verily, you will endure. You will suffer torment, fatigue, for verily our Creator hath ordered, hath disposed that there will be pain, there will be affliction, there will be misery, there will be work, labor for daily sustenance. Now there's some precepts over there to the side. I'm going to pull those real quick. The most I permit. Now I was on page 168. The most I'm going to pull that up real quick, and I'll just get the precepts out. So again, that's referencing back to the book of Genesis. That's also referencing to the book of Jubilees. See if we can't get it out of the book of Jubilees. Book of Jubilees. 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 And then that was chapter 3. Pseudepigrapha Apocrypha. Let's get it. Pseudepigrapha chapter 3, and that was verses 24 through 27. See if we can't get that. And he was wroth with the woman, because she hearkened to the voice of the serpent, and did eat. He said unto her, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your pains. In sorrow you will bring forth children, and your return shall be to your husband, and he will rule over you. And to Adam also he said, because you have hearkened unto the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree which I have commanded you, that you should not eat thereof, cursed be the ground for your sake. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and you shall eat your bread in the sweat of thy face, till you return to the earth from whence you were taken. For earth you are, and unto earth you shall return. Unto earth you shall return. And he made for them coats of skin, and clothed them, and he sent them forth from the Garden of Eden. And on that day which Adam went forth from the garden, he offered as a sweet savor an offering, frankincense, galbanum, and stacte, and spices in the morning with the rising of the sun, and the day when he covered his shame. So right? Another reference, Jubilees, has been ordered that there will be pain, there will be affliction, there will be misery, there will be work, labor for daily sustenance. There is sweat, weariness, labor when there is to be eating, drinking, and the wearing of raiment. Truly, you will endure fatigue, you will suffer torment. Right? But there's another precept there. And that last precept there is actually in the book of Moses, right? So let's see if we can't get that. Pearl of great price. Moses is going to be on chapter 4. Once it loads, and the Most High permit. You see, I actually wanted to get the actual book, excuse me, my friends. Scriptures and study. Pearl of great price. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for bringing this up. I greatly appreciate your help today. But I'd like to get to chapter 4. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being very cooperative, computer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for doing the service of the Most High. We're going to get it now at verse 22. Verse 22. Thank you, Ahaya, for helping me do this, alright? So here we go. So, chapter 4, verse 22, and we're going to read it all the way through verse 27. So, right, unto the woman, I, Ahaya Elohia, said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam, I, Ahaya Elohia, said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and have eaten of the fruit of the tree which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it, cursed shall be the ground for your sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of your life, thorns also, and thistles shall it bring forth to you, and you shall eat of the herb of the field. By the sweat of your face shall you eat bread until you shall return unto the ground, for you shall surely die, for out of it were you taken, for dust you were, and to dust you shall return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. But thus have I, Enoki said, called the first of all women, which are many. Unto Adam, and also unto his wife, did I, Enoki said, make coats of skins, and clothe them. Right, so that's 3 witnesses there. What they're referencing. The Pearl of Great Price, that's from the records of the Northern Kingdom, according to the accounts of Genesis. Look at that. So, we have it in the Florentine Codex, and we have it all over the place here, right? And then continue on to the next page. So that was on page 168, it's going to be on page 169. My youngest one, my precious noble one, you have suffered exhaustion, you have suffered fatigue. May the Lord of the near, of the nigh, who is your mother, your father, the revered parent, cherish thee, array thee. And oh, we who are parents, and are we perchance worthy of you? It may be that you are finished. The reverend parent will summon you, will call you. It may be that you have come only to pass before our eyes. It may be that we will catch but a glimpse of you, my beloved child. May we await the word of Ahaya. And the midwife forthwith cut the umbilical cord of the baby. She took its umbilical cord, and she removed that which is called its afterbirth, in which the baby came wrapped, in which it came enveloped. This she buried in a corner of the house, but the umbilical cord of the baby was saved. It was dried. Later it was left in the battlefield, if it was the umbilical cord of a boy. So I'm just going to leave that there. Look how much knowledge our forefathers had. Because remember, right, there's a certain commandment here that was given to us in the so-called New Testament, right? So-called New Testament, right? So it says, if the Lord permit, right? And let's see if we can't get it there, right? So Hebrews 6:3. Right, and it says, anyway, Hebrews 6:3, so it reads, and this we will do if the Creator permits, right? Saying, this is how you're supposed to be conducting yourself, if the Creator permits, all this good stuff can happen if the Creator permits, if He wants it to get done. You know, it doesn't have to get done, and perhaps it might be an evil thing going on, right? And it says, let your conversation be if the Lord permit. Let's see. Right, okay, Matthew 5:37. Yes, yes, and your no be no, right? Don't make any oaths, right? Simply let your yes be yes and your no be no. Because anything more or less from this comes from the evil one. Why? Because we're not supposed to be making any oaths, because you might break that oath, making your word less valid. Right? Alright, let's see here. There we go. Perhaps this is it. Alright, so let's see, we're going to start at verse 17. When I planned this, did I do it carelessly, or did I make my plans by human standards, so as to say yes, yes, when I really mean no, no? But as surely as the Creator is faithful, our message to you is not yes and no. For the Son of the Creator, Yeshua HaMashiach, who was proclaimed among you by me and Silvanus and Timothy, was not yes and no, but in him who has always been yes. For all the promises of the Creator are yes in HaMashiach, and so through him our Amen is spoken to the glory of Anoki said. Let's go back up though, right? Verse 12. And this is our boast. Our conscience testifies that we have conducted ourselves in the world, and especially in relation to you, in the holiness and sincerity that are from the Creator, not in worldly wisdom, but in the grace of the Creator. For we do not write you anything that is beyond your ability to read and understand. And I hope that you understand us completely, as you have already understood us in part, so that you may boast of us just as we will boast in you in the day of Yeshua HaMashiach. Okay, I thought it was going to be this one, but apparently I can't find it right now. But essentially there's a rebuke in there where you see how Paul is acting this out right now, right? He's not saying, oh, I'm going to go do this one thing. He's going to make his, his flesh his arm. But he's making, the Creator his arm, right? If the Creator permits, I'll do this. If Ahaya permit, I'll get this done. If Ahaya permit, this will get done. If Ahaya wants the good to be done, it's going to get done. If Ahaya wants the evil to get done, well, it's going to get done either way. So, with that said, it's the same type of communication being spoken here in this Florentine Codex, right? So, they're speaking an opportunity where the kid grows old, right? Kid grows old, does all these good things, or all these evil things, right? Grows old and does this, and then there's another one, or if the Creator, if it's in the Creator's will, my little son, my little daughter, you're gonna die. Like, you're gonna die in your youth. We were just meant to see you be born, and then you're gonna go back to the Creator. Maybe that was your purpose of being born, just to mess with our hearts. Maybe that was your purpose of being born, to help us turn back to the Creator in a certain way. Who knows? Only the Creator knows. Only Ahaya Elohia knows. And so, with that said, I just wanted to share that with the family. I wanted to let you know and share some more facts that break the Creator's facts. Oh, the pink moon. Oh yeah, sorry about that, family. That was actually another lesson I was gonna do, but I actually never did quite get to it. The name of this lesson is actually gonna be called "The Soul of Man." But I just wanted to say Shalawam and much Siloam, family. I wish you guys, a blessed Sabbath day. May the Most High make His face to shine upon you and give you peace. May you guys stay strong in these last days. Stay strong in the faith. Stay strong in the hope of the Creator. Keeping your eyes on Him who is invisible. So, I just wanted to say shalom, much shalom, and much siloam. Much peace, much life, and much love. You saw me follow you here. Know that it's me, AHAYA Yachad, or the Rock Kadash. I'm sorry for any ill communication on my part. If you're curious in any of these matters, by all means, look it up for yourself. So I'm just gonna leave you off, with some jams, some tunes, so you can just ease out of it with some music. So much peace, much life, and much love. Hawa.
Ahaya, my creator, you made me in my mother's womb. You promised in your word, send a redeemer, he's coming soon. Ahaya, my creator, you made me in my mother's womb. You promised in your word, send a redeemer, he's coming soon.
I've been gazing at the stars, got me wondering who we are. Told me we was made for something, gave me mic and a guitar. My brother got the drumming hard. You was always by my side, every moment of my life. Was dreaming about how good it would be if we ever get to fly, maybe once before we die. Created the world, made every mountain, spread out the northern skies over the empty spaces. You made all the human race, and through all our miseducation, the mind slipped into complacence. But you gave a map to lead us from the hand of the other nations, revealed in the revelations. We suffered the plight, we were patient, time we were facing. Leave your heart stony as raw so that we steady misbehaving. Memories latent, it's written in pavement. The picture's been painted, we the original faces. A chosen bloodline was hidden in darkness, can't run from the sunlight.
Creator, you made me in my mother's womb. You promised in your word, send a redeemer, he's coming soon. Ahaya, my creator, you made me in my mother's womb. You promised in your word, send a redeemer, he's coming soon. Yachad, Lamb of God, you bled and died for all of my sin, and rose again to bring death's end. You promised power and forgiveness if I have faith and repent. Lamb of God, you bled and died for all of my sin, and rose again to bring death's end. You promised power and forgiveness if I have faith and repent.